So I want to welcome Dr. Lisa VanGetson and Dr. Gamal from Hermitage Farm, talking about integrative health and lifestyle wellness. And I'm very excited because I did not know where this place was. I do now, and I'm so excited about what they're going to present. On the table, I have put their bio, and their bio is so impressive that it's way too long for me to read, so you may read it while they're speaking. They're more than qualified. So with that, I want to give them a very warm welcome, please, to Redeemer.
Can everybody hear me? Yeah. I have a little soft voice with a little soft cough. I am not infectious, so I just want you to know that. I'm very grateful to be here today. Integrative health was something that I fell into. And that was as a result of a back injury at the bedside over 40 years ago. I've been a nurse at Mayo for 41 years, nurse practitioner now. And back then, when you hurt your back, you went to physical therapy, you were off work for 6 months. And my physical therapist one day said, I went to a workshop by Dalia Elimam. Do you know her? And I said, no. She said, well, she's an energy medicine practitioner. She talks about how the energy is connected to your meridians and your chakra system and your auric field. And when you have a symptom, it's because your body is in an inflammatory response. And she said, I got you the book because you are chapter number 17. And I want to know if you'd be open to reading that because I think that I can help heal your low back pain. I said, great. And then she said, but we can't tell anybody outside of the treatment room here at Mayo in the physical therapy department. That was 35 years ago. I said, no problem. I'm pretty tired of this long road, and whatever you can do to help heal me, I think that's great. 5 days later, I was done with physical therapy because what had happened in the low back was the meridian system, the energy highways in the back were compressed. The lack of energy flow was causing my pain, and I was then introduced to a whole new world. 6 months later, a friend of mine called and said, I know you just bought this farm out on West River Road. Have you ever heard of energy medicine? I said, well, actually I have. She goes, well, we're doing a certification program here in town. I need a big space so that we can set up 15 massage tables. I said, okay, I can do that. The barn, inside of the barn was built in 1910. It was an old dairy farm. It had a subfloor, and we set up tables, and here we go. 22 years later, Hermitage Farm is an integrative health practice. And so if you're sitting here today wondering, well, gosh, what does integrative health have to offer me? A lot more than pills. And so Dr. Dalia and I are going to unpack this whole interesting way of living differently. For me personally, it's a spiritual way of living because we connect with this energy, and I'm going to use, I love speaking to church people because I get to use the word God. Okay? So in our holy connection to the divine, we have this energetic relationship, and it connects to our mind, body, spirit. So that's what we're going to unpack for you today. Okay? So over here. Okay. So 40 years ago, integrative health was called complementary and alternative medicine, right? You've all heard that term. In healthcare, over the last 10 years, large healthcare systems, including Mayo, has shifted the name to be called integrative medicine because there is this general consensus now that we need to have an integrative approach to health, which includes what is going on in the mind, body, and spirit. So Another term that you will often hear is lifestyle medicine, which is also about looking at integrative approaches to health and wellness. The backdrop of my practice at Hermitage Farm is helping people to live with chronic illness. So I see clients where I integrate holistic coaching and energy medicine techniques, and I deal with many different clients who are living with chronic pain, depression, anxiety. Since COVID, about 90% of my practice at the farm is dealing with not only healthcare providers, but service workers in homestead county who are living and dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder-like symptoms. That's what we see when we don't diagnose somebody with PTSD, but they have all the symptoms. So that is the work that I offer at the farm. So I do stress management consults. And interesting, I have been a cardiac intensive care nurse practitioner for 40 years, so I've been working with stress my entire career, huh? You can't have issues with your heart and not have had some sort of stress response as a result of that. My other new love is to really understand what is in our medicine cabinet. Okay? I am part Native American, I'm part Cherokee, and Cherokees were farmers. So my medicine cabinet is my food. I'm going to talk about that today as well. In integrative health, there are many different healing modalities. One is massage. Most of us here have probably had a massage. Massage therapist works with the energy systems in the body. Meditation. I offer meditation groups out at Hermitage Farm. I've actually taught meditation, mindfulness meditation, for about 35 years. Yoga is another healing modality. Dietary and herbal supplements. In the last 10 years, patients in the United States spend more than $6,000 cash out of pocket on herbs and supplements to try and treat their chronic illnesses. It's a lot of money, actually.
Yeah, it's her microphone.
And that is because healthcare, insurance policies do not offer payment for dietary supplements or herbs. Aromatherapy, most of us have probably heard of aromatherapy at Mayo now for the last probably 10 years. Our nurses can integrate aromatherapy into the care of the patients. And so that has become a very common practice across many, many healthcare systems. Sound healing. All energy vibrates. It vibrates at different hertz and different levels. Yeah? Should I maybe use that other one? There. Is that better? Yes? No? Is it on? Yeah, okay. Somebody just turned the volume up.
How can we switch it to be in this room? It's
Okay.
coming through the.
Oh, it is in the other room, isn't it? So I'm kind of echoing.
Yeah. We just need to give you. So the. Pastor can maybe help you.
All right. Woo. There we go. Okay. So sound healing is becoming much more of a popular trend. And why is that? Because we are learning, or at least acknowledging in a holistic way, that for healing to occur in the body, it vibrates at different levels. And all of these modalities create an energetic resonance in our body. Sound healing, well, the very first sound healing actually was church organs. Nothing better than a great hallelujah, huh? And that those sounds are connected to our energy systems. So sound healing with crystal bowls is becoming very, very popular because people realize, I really do need to have some healing. and I actually don't want to talk about it. I just want to show up somewhere, and I want something to happen to my mind, body, spirit that's going to make me feel good. In the old days, we would call that the foxtrot or the waltz. Today, we call this sound healing. You can come to Hermitage Farm. We have 2 sound healers, and they have events 3 times a month. And you come into the center, you lay on a yoga mat or sit in a chair, and you get to be bathed in sound that resonates with your energy systems, that balances you. And you don't even have to know even pathophysiology of that, you just have to show up. Okay? You can also go on the internet and type in sound healing and listen to all kinds of YouTubes that have the same effect. Reiki is a very ancient Chinese medicine healing modality that's been around for years. Acupuncture, acupressure, many healthcare systems, including Mayo, has an acupuncture department in which is used for a lot of chronic illnesses. And then energy medicine, and Dr. Dalia will go way into that, which is fabulous. Joan asked me to talk a little bit about research. I'm not a researcher, I am a clinician. If I don't have a body to touch and a sick person's eyes to look into, I'm not very happy. So I am skilled at interpreting research that's been published. In the last 5 years, because of COVID, not much research has been done in integrative health, except for 2 recent articles on the effects of sound healing and the use of lavender on COVID nurses. Prior to 5 years ago, there is research out. Now, I'm a very practical woman, and so if a client says to me, you know, this really works. My dad used to swear that sharp cartilage really worked for him. Now I know the research on sharp cartilage, and I said, Dad, you may as well go buy a Diet 7-Up, because sharp cartilage really doesn't work according to the literature. But no, he thought that, and CoQ10 worked, which it does. That's what he did. He would take something that he thought made him feel better. And there's nothing wrong with that. The point I'm trying to make here is, in integrative health, when we are trying to balance a very complex mind, body, spirit in which we all walk around in every single day in our human reality, it is just okay if there is something that helps us to shift, to feel better, to heal, to lower our blood pressure, to make us more awake of the wonder and awe of God. That's just okay, because these modalities actually will not harm you. The National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine, for those of you who like the internet, if you go on their website, this is probably one of the best integrative websites that you can go on and see what research is being done, what has been done. It's all free. They have a lot of patient handouts as well. There are 5 different domains of integrative health. And I just want to go over those briefly. Alternative medical systems, for example, is homeopathy or neuropathy medicine. How many of you use homeopathy or have for something? Okay, what is it? It is an herb that has been proven to alter your immune response to help treat a symptom, basically. Okay? The mind-body medicine is the second domain of CAM, where meditation and cognitive behavioral therapy are part of that understanding. So, who were the first people who meditated? I think his name was Jesus. We hear people talk about distant healing or distant prayer At one time in my life, I was a member of a religious community, and we used to do distant prayer every single day. Right? We call that praying for one another. Okay? So some of these modalities have different names to things that have been done for thousands and thousands of years. Biological-based therapies are herbs and foods and vitamins. We hear a lot about herbs. Herbs is plant medicine, and plant medicine has been around for years. We call that salt and pepper and basil and rosemary and thyme, right? Manipulative and body-based methods. Many of us have probably sought out chiropractic care. Mayo Clinic now has a chiropractic department. Hooray! Okay, we are now acknowledging another way in which to help heal. Massage is included in that. And then the fifth domain is energy therapies. Reiki, healing touch, therapeutic touch. Nurses are, when I was in nursing school, we actually had a class on therapeutic touch. That's kind of, I think that's kind of fun to reflect on, that we actually had to be taught how to therapeutically touch someone. That's probably needed more today than back then. Energy medicine, Qigong, there's lots of different movements, Qigong, Tai Chi. These kinds of therapies help to stretch our energy bodies and bring what we call life force back into the body. And then bioelectric-based therapies, magnet therapy. How many of you have ever gone to Walgreens to get one of those knee braces or a wrist brace because you have some pain there? And what is inside that brace? A magnet. Because the magnet in there might be a north magnet or a south magnet, and depending on where it's put in your body, it will pull the negative energy out of the tissue and rebalance that, and then what happens? The pain's gone. So magnet therapy has actually been around for a very long time. This is just a different schematic. This information comes from the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine. Here are some other websites that are very replicable. And the reason I included this is for one reason. I believe that integrative health has kind of gotten a bad rap. And it is because historically, healthcare institutions have not put forth a lot of research money to prove why aromatherapy works. Why does energy medicine work? All of that costs money. It's easier to study cancer and asthma and high blood pressure. So it's really important, if you go see a practitioner anywhere, you want to know their credentials, no different than when you go to your primary care doctor. Okay? Because in integrative health, there are all different kinds of certifications and all different kinds of licensures. Hermitage Farm has been open 22 years, and everyone there has always been a professional with some sort of license, mostly nurses or physicians, and who have had a academic training into that healing modality. And I have very intentionally done that. To me, it's just honoring this line of professional work. And so it's really important for you to know about the credentials of who you might choose to go see. And now, we're going to make just a little bit more turn towards how do we actually apply this to our everyday life. This is a background to, in a sense, help us understand in a better way that integrative health is credible. And that by the time we leave here, you will know how you can use integrative health to help you even with your daily life and chronic illness.
Thank you so much, Lisa. This was wonderful. I will capitalize on all this wonderful information that Lisa just shared with us and go more into details of how integrative medicine works. My name is Dalia Elimam, Dalia Elimam. I am an energy medicine practitioner. I have actually been a physician, a pediatrician, and academic researcher for over 23 years. So I practiced in Egypt, I practiced at the University of Miami, where I received my PhD, and got a job at the Cleveland Clinic, where then God rerouted me. Because of my visa issue back then, I could not continue my job at the Cleveland Clinic. I was no longer eligible as a foreign citizen to practice, and I was left and asking God, where do you want me to go now? Where do you want me to go now? My job, I do not have a job as a physician, and that was my identity. I've been all my life a physician. What do I do now? What do I learn new at the age of 40 or 50? Where do I go from here? And I started back then to think about all these things that I was always interested in when I was practicing medicine, the things I noticed on little children when they were healing, what touch would do to them, what comfort would do to them, why do we hold them in this place, why do we turn them around, why does medicine sometimes work and sometimes it doesn't, why are children getting complications and why not, why are the genetics of two people the same, but one person develops a disease and another doesn't. And I started to do some self-study. And then I found energy medicine, and I started to get curious about it, and I got certified, and it gave me the answers to all those questions medicine could not give me. And here I am today. So today I'm an energy medicine practitioner and teacher, and I'm solely practicing energy medicine. I use my understanding of health and disease to understand what's going on with whoever seeks my help, but I only use energy medicine to help them heal. Thank you very much for having us. I thank Redeem and I thank Lisa for this wonderful opportunity to be with you in God's house today and share with you something that hopefully will help you, give you hope and heal, and to tell you where you can get access to more if you are in need for more. So we're providing you today with simple concepts that will provide you with the knowledge, the awareness, and the ability to heal yourself, to be empowered to do so, and to heal completely. So thank you for that. So here I have the first slide is a visual for you just to see what integrative medicine really is. What integrative medicine is?
We know what conventional medicine is. So conventional medicine is what we expect, and the wonderful, very efficient, and very important services that we receive when we go to our physician, when we go to the hospital, from screening, from examination, from medications, from surgery. This is what conventional medicine is. The combination of that type of service that we are receiving, plus the alternative medicine, which we will talk about, that together in combination is integrative medicine. So it means we have integrated other modalities in addition to our conventional services that we're already receiving. So what are these alternative modalities? What are the modalities that we would like to incorporate in our life to practice integrative medicine? There is body work, and Dr. Lisa has mentioned some of them, and just here clarifying, giving you a visual of what they are. It's body work. If we do massages, massages are not luxury. They are essential for our health. Massages, visitors to the chiropractor or physical therapy, energy medicine, Reiki, Eden energy medicine, which I'm specialized in, acupuncture, spiritual practices, our prayers, our rituals, and yoga. And yoga in its original form is actually spiritual practice. And it is wonderful how it has evolved into fitness today. But in its origin, it is actually a spiritual, thank you so much, Kat. It is actually a spiritual practice. And meditation, and sound healing, and vibrational medicine. These are all modalities of alternative medicine. So if we practice these in addition to our conventional services, this is what we call an integrative approach to our health. So today we are obviously focusing on the alternative modalities. Conventional medicine we are all very familiar with.
Today we are saying, what are the alternative medicines and why are we talking about this today? Why is it so important to incorporate alternative modalities into our life? So I will present in here today, and I hope you're curious. We will say what is the application of integrative medicine, and how do these alternative modalities help us? How do they affect our health? And I want to tell you that all these modalities do shift the energies in our body. They all have the same basic and the same foundation in different techniques and ways. So what is this energy we're talking about? What is the energy system in our body? And how does it affect our health? And this is where I'm going to go with you. Very simple aspects of it. And I will send you home with a few techniques that you can do yourself with your hands at home to increase your vitality, your resilience, your experience of joy, and the ability to help. So, the importance of integrative medicine is that it recognizes that we are more than flesh. We are not just a physical body. You are soul, you are divine breath and divine energy. There's a physicality, which is our body, and there is a spirituality. When we get sick, we address usually the physical part, the expression. But we are soul in a vehicle in this body through this journey of life. So when we are not healthy, or not feeling well, then we need to address the physical part and the spiritual part, because we are both. The WHO has defined health as not merely the absence of disease. So that is world known for, even for us conventional, traditional physicians, and there might be some of you in here, we know that health is not just the absence of disease. We can have not being diseased, but still not feeling our best. But what conventional medicine does today, and it does it very good, its focus is on the absence and the presence of disease. To detect disease, to prevent disease, and to manage disease. And thank you for that. But we are more than that. We are energy. We are divine energy. We all started being here with the love of God by a breath of God. So we are energy. We have energy systems within our body, 9 systems that govern all our cells and organs and systems, our mental activity, our emotions, our ability to function in this world, and our relationship with the divine. We are energy, and this energy within our body extends beyond our body as well and creates the human energy field. And that has been scientifically imaged and photographed and proven, and there's a lot of research. If you have an interest in research later, I do have articles and books that I can give you as reference as well. So our energy field has a structure. It has an anatomy. It has a physiology, it has specific functions, and it governs all our health and our activity and our vitality and how we function in this world. And for us to be healthy, our energies have to be in balance. They need to move freely, and they need to move in a direction and according to its priority and according to its structure. So what is this energy that I'm talking about? We have energy, we are energy. Energy is our life force. It's also called chi. It is actually what allows us to breathe, what makes us move. We underestimate its presence and its ability. It's what keeps our heart actually beating. It's our vim, our vigor, our rigors. Isn't it sometimes that we wake up in the morning and we feel we do not have energy today? And we are not diseased, we're not sick, but there is an imbalance in our energy system. If we are sick and we're taking medications, or we have a cold or a flu, and then we tested negative and we are fine, then don't we linger a little bit with a little bit more fatigue and tiredness? Because our energies still have to be rebalanced. They have to catch up with that. So energy is the strength and the vitality that we need to perform all our physical and mental activities. Where does this energy come from? So we as human beings, we receive our energy from the divine, through the heavens, through our crown chakra, which descends into our body, and we receive energy from earth, through our feet. And you have heard it probably often and say, walk barefoot. Why? When we connect with earth, we are open to receive the energy that is there for us, provided to us from earth. So the energy from above and the energy from below, they come and mix and meet at the level of our heart and are distributed deep into all our systems in the body and around us as well. So, the health of our energies is the health of our body. We are not entirely healthy if there is an imbalance in our energy system. So what does that look like? I want to give you examples. If our energy system is completely balanced, then it affects how we feel, right? I just said we can wake up and feel very angry or tired or irritable. It's an energetic issue. It affects how we think, our beliefs. It affects the environment. It actually affects and impacts what music I listen to, what food I'm craving today, what color I want to wear, how I perform in my relationships, how do I respond to stress, and even how do I respond to my medication, and how do I cope with disease. It's an energetic factor. And vice versa. If the emotions and thoughts and everything around me in my environment affects also my energy. Have you ever met somebody where you immediately felt, oh, doesn't feel good to me? This is your energy, not harmonizing with theirs. Have you ever had the experience where somebody touched you and you thought, oh, that felt good, I feel comforted? This is them tapping into your energy. So the issues, whatever we have been through, like our experiences, the traumas we had, affect our energy system. What we eat affects our energy system. The weather affects our energy system. Sometimes we're down or up according to whether there's sun or there's rain. Whether I live on a mountain or by the ocean, it affects my energy system. The medications I take, the disease I'm coping with, the relationships I have. Are there some relationships that really light you up and enrich you and make you feel good and better and loved, and others that really drain you? That is an energetic issue. So the energy system, our energy system, is the first system that gets affected by our environment. Anything we experience in life affects our energy system first, before we think about it or feel it or get affected health-wise by it. So how do we get sick? When we now think about the health of our energies is the health of our body. How do we get sick? So this cascade is also visual to simplify the concept. Anything we are exposed to in our life that is not in harmony with us, and we call it stressors, they affect our energy balance and can cause an energy imbalance. So if I have an experience today that caused an energetic imbalance in me, and I go home, I eat well, I sleep well, I talk with a friend, I do my prayers, and I take care of myself, my energies will rebalance. But if I'm chronically exposed, or I'm not taking care of myself, or don't have access to what balances me, or I have such severe stressors or chronic stressors, this energetic imbalance stays for a longer time. And then it's when I get sick, because the energies govern my health. So how do we heal? Well, we do correct the energy imbalance. We can do it ourselves, and I will show you how. And we have more lectures and classes to give if you're interested in more than we are providing today. But this is where energy medicine comes in. Energy medicine is the approach that gives you tools and techniques that by touching you or by moving in a proximity to your body, if you don't like touch, to rebalance the imbalances that have been occurred. If it has been something long-standing or something short-standing, whether it's an emotional issue, a physical issue, or a mental issue, we rebalance, and energy medicine has the tools to rebalance the energies that were causing this symptom or sign that you were experiencing. So, what is energy medicine then? Energy medicine is the approach to health with the attention and focus on your energy system. And it evaluates the imbalance, it sees if there is imbalance or not, what is the imbalance, and it corrects it as well. So what are the energy imbalances that are present? The same way we have blood flowing in a blood vessel, we have energy flowing in energy vessels. They are rivers of energy in our body. They can get blocked, they can become deficient, they can become congested, or they can become irregular. Flow is diverting from the path where it originally was supposed to go to. So for example, if we have congested energy, it manifests in tension. Do we have some tension in our back, on our lower back, on our legs? This is congested energy, and it is resolved and released by a good massage, because it loosens up the muscles and creates space again for the energy to move, instead of being congested in one place. Energies can be deficient. I'm just drained. I don't have any life force in me. It has been a tiring year. I have been working a lot. I've been mentally occupied a lot, and I now feel weak. I don't have any more energy to get up even to the bathroom. We are deficient. This is where Reiki and energy medicine can come in. Reiki is channeling universal support, universal divine energy into your body to revive you and support you. And energy medicine, the other modalities of energy medicine can help with that. Energies can get blocked. They're not reaching. They are just not reaching the organs or the systems or the muscles we need. This is where moving comes. Your energies move with you moving. The energies move with you hydrating. The energies move with you breathing. So stretching is very important, because as we stretch, we open up space in our whole body for the energies to move. Energies can be imbalanced. They can be we have been stomach issues for some time, and all my energies have been focused on my stomach. But I need them for my liver, I need them for my mind. Or if I have pain, or certain illnesses or ailments, specific signs and symptoms are usually manifestations of irregular energies in certain places in our body. There are specific individual sessions of energy medicine which can help rebalancing your organs and wherever you need your energy to go. So, energy medicine is important. If you want to complete your healing, entirely, completely being healed, energy medicine is essential, because energy governs our health, and because every single sign and symptom and ailment and disease we have has an energetic component. Healing is not complete without energy balancing. And most importantly, which all of us here will understand, that healing is a spiritual process. It is a spiritual process to begin with. We cannot heal unless we are aligned with our soul and our mind and our body. And the alternative methods that Dr. Lisa has mentioned, all of them, allow for that opportunity and that ability for alignment. So, conventional medicine on its own does not walk you to your end. Neither does alternative medicine. They have to go hand in hand, and we call that an integrative approach. So I have a treat for you. We will give you today 4 powerful techniques, and very, very easy techniques for you to do on your own, on your loved ones, that does not cost you any money, that does not take any time, and you don't have to schedule them, and you can do them on your own. Your tools for these are your hands, because we have electromagnetic characteristics of our hands. Our hands are our healing tools. So for that to experience, I will encourage you, if you have been eating and your hands are free, to rub your hands together, just like that. And thank you. And this is how you activate the healing properties of your hand. And voila, you have healing tools. So how do I use these to help me heal? So I will give you 4 tools today for specific things to do with them. 4 exercises. First of all, why I picked these tools of the 1,000 tools we have in our energy medicine box is because they're for grounding, for increased vitality, for resilience, for joy, and an ability to heal today. Grounding, what I mean by grounding is the stabilization of our energy system, the stabilization of our nervous system, the stabilization of our electric system. Sometimes we're all in our head and we're running around, so many thoughts, so much clutter, so much multitasking. But how do I come back to my calm? How do I come back to my focus? How do I come back in my body from that? And that is what grounding is. In our feet, we have 2 acupressure points where we resorb the energy of ground from earth. And that is called grounding, to reconnect to earth. Because most of the time we're swimming and we're flying somewhere up here because of all the responsibilities we have. So grounding is reconnecting us to earth and stabilize us. So the first technique will require some standing up, so I will not ask you to do that, and I will leave it to the end. If you wish to do it, then we can do it. I will start with the 3 ones that you can do comfortably while you are sitting. The first one is called the 9 hearts exercise. And the handouts that you all have these exercises with them. So you can follow me and watch me, or do it along with me. And when you go home, you can also review them, look them up. And there's also a link to the websites where you have YouTube, where somebody is doing it if you would like to review it again at home. And as I said, these are just 4 techniques out of thousands of techniques that we have. And these websites also will give you more techniques for other, if you have specific issues that you want energy medicine tools for. So the first one is called the 9 hearts. And this one is good for anxiety, it's good for depression, it's good for fatigue, it's good for hopelessness, it's good for feeling alone, feeling disconnected, feeling isolated, feeling stuck, not being able to heal, not being able to move forward. This is a technique that is very good for that. It is also a technique that takes away of the social anxiety. When people want to mingle, want to meet other people, but feel they're a little worried about it for whatever reason, this exercise helps the ease to harmonize the energies, my energies, with others.
9 hearts. 3 hearts around my face. 3 hearts around my face. Set the intention to heal and to heal with love. 3 hearts around my heart. 3 hearts around my heart to activate the energy that all I am and all I give and all I need to receive is love. And then 3 hearts around my body. 3 hearts around my body. 9 hearts exercise. You can do it while you're sitting. You can do it in bed. You can do it standing. I like to give another heart to the world. Just to stand it out. Did that cost you anything? Did you need an appointment? Did it take any time? You can do it in the bathroom. You can do it in the shower. 3 hearts. Just set the intention. I am healing. I am healing. I am love. I give love and I receive love. And I heal through love. In the mirror, every morning, you won't need makeup, I promise you. 3 hearts. 3 hearts around my heart. And 3 hearts for me. And if you're like a world lover like me and you love everyone, another heart to the world. Then the triple warmer spleen hug. It's a hug. And I will go more into what triple warmer and spleen is. But it is a hug. You're hugging yourself. You're putting one hand at the opposite, above the opposite elbow, and the other hand underneath on your rib cage. Elbow, rib cage. Hugging yourself and just breathing in. This helps with inflammation, with chronic inflammation. It helps with processing your food. It helps with processing your thoughts and your beliefs. And it helps you getting stronger. And it helps you with anxiety, with worry, with overthinking. 3 breaths, all it takes, 3 breaths. And set the intention. I am healing. I am processing. I am calming myself. I am taking care of myself. And then I cross the other side. Vice versa. One hand of the elbow, the other one my rib cage. And breathing, because energy moves with breath. Energy moves with intention. It will go where you want it to go. 3 breaths. So triple warmer is one energy river in our body that is responsible for our stress response. It keeps us, when we're stressed, and it keeps our adrenaline high, it keeps our cortisol high, and by doing this, we are feeding certain energy points of this meridian, like acupuncture, but without the needles. We're using acupressure, and our energies are smart, and they understand what they're doing, and it calms our body. It will say, we are not fighting. It's just a conversation we're having. It's just a bill. Oh, it's just my neighbor. It's just traffic. But we are not fighting, and we can calm down. And spleen, on the other side, spleen is for processing our metabolism, all our blood variables, processing our thoughts and our feelings. It helps us to move through whatever we need to go through and digest whatever we need to digest, literally and figuratively. So it just takes 3 breaths, and I can resolve. How much did that cost you? Did you make an appointment? How far is your appointment? Another one, crossing over your heart chakra. How I do that? You just put your arms in your armpit and lift your thumbs up. By doing that, you just sit the same way, intention, I am healing. What I am doing right here now is I'm touching my heart chakra. I have access to the energies of my lung. I have access to the energies of my heart. I have access to the energies of my small intestine, which is responsible for digestion, but also discernment and decision making. And it's calming. I can do that even when I'm in a meeting. I can do that in line in the grocery store. How much is that costing you? Any appointments here? 3 breaths, and the intention. I am healing, I am calming, and I am enough, and I am enough. And your lung will coordinate with your breath, and your heart is on board, and your thoughts are going to align you. And I would encourage you to practice this at home. Just sit with yourself while you're waiting on the eggs to be boiled on the stove. Just wait and sit for your eggs. And people ask, what are you doing? I'm just boiling eggs. But you're doing so much more than that. You're taking care of yourself. So 3 very easy. It take me maybe a minute. How long should you be sitting there doing it? It is really up to you. You want to do it for 3 breaths. You want to do it for 10 breaths. You want to sit for a minute. You want to meditate in this. You want to do it after your prayer, before your prayer, where you want to do it. Maybe in the grocery store, maybe in your balcony, maybe in bed. Wherever it suits you and how long and whatever feels good to you. There's no rule to it. Your energies will tell you, we're done. Or I will stay a little long. Your energies will tell you. So the 4th one is a little bit of movement. And if you remember how we talked about stretching and movement and how that allows the energies to move and make space for them to move if they're blocked or congested. And this one is particularly beautiful. I'm so happy to be able to share that with you because it also allows to connect us, the heaven and the earth. It centers us between the heavens and the earth and allows us to connect and receive from above and receive from below and get really stabilized and grounded where we are. And then let me know how much that costed you. Because this requires standing up, feel free. If you have enough space, if you feel called to it, please do it. If not, you can do it afterwards or whatever you feel like. But I will see what you're doing first. So, first of all, I rub my hands to activate the energies in my hands to be able to receive a gift. And then I come into a prayer position. Make sure you're soft in your knees because we need our knees to move. And then you stretch one hand up to receive from the heavens and one hand down to connect to earth. It's called connecting heaven and earth. And make sure that you stretch as much as comfortable for you to open up the space and open up your body so the energies from above can move through down to earth and from earth can move way up all to the heavens. Connecting heaven and earth. And breathe while you're doing it. And make sure you're soft in your knees. And it's a comfortable position. And you can do it also when you're sitting. Practice it. If you're not comfortable standing, if it hurts, you can also switch. And when you take a good breath, come back into prayer position. And on the other hand, up. A friend of mine told me, hold the pizza, pet your dog. So you not forget. And then breathe, keep breathing, and stretching and open up your chest. It activates also your spleen for processing and metabolizing and digesting. It opens your lung for inspiration, for letting go, and for receiving new thoughts and supports. And you're open to receive from the heavens and the earth. Back into prayer position. Rest. Take another breath. And I like to do it 3 times each side. But it's really always up to you. 1 time suffices. Your body is telling you 1 time is enough, then you're enough. If you feel you want to do it again, then do it again. I love to do it in the balcony. You walk by Cascade Lake, you will see me standing there doing it. And you will not anymore, because now you know what I'm doing. Right? And then back. And breathe. And then come back into prayer position. The last thing you do is, and just wonder how much is comfortable for you. It's not, you don't have to. Just bend over very slowly and dingle your arms down. And just here for a moment, just to allow the energy to move through your body and rest. And then roll up all the goodness from earth. Roll it up over yourself. Big, wide opening energies around you. I can feel you. Well done. Thank you.
So 4 very easy tools and techniques that help you with so much. Don't cost you anything, don't take time. So in the morning I would encourage you, right when you wake up, either in bed, do your hearts. When you wash your face in front of the mirror, do your hearts. When you start to stretch, do connecting heaven and earth. Just set the intention. If you're not feeling today well and you're in bed, or you can't move, or you know somebody who would really want this exercise but they can't get out of bed, they can do it by imagining it. Show them, demo it, and their intention. The energies will follow their intention. We work with people also who are paralyzed and cannot move or had surgery, and we tell them and we demo it and they can just imagine. Energies follow your intention and they follow your breath. So easy to do in the morning, easy to do in the middle of the day, and easy to do at night, wherever, whenever, and however it feels good to you. So please always follow your own pace and share it with people you love and people who think you might need or benefit from it. There's no side effect to that. So these 4 methods that I just showed you are called the Eden method. They come from the Eden energy medicine technique. It's an energy medicine modality that is named after Donna Eden. That's where it gets the name from. Donna Eden founded this energy medicine modality in 1977. Just a small introduction so you know, and you can look at that book as well. She is a clairvoyant. She could see energy since she was a child, and she is now a very well-known and still alive, 81 years old, energy medicine practitioner, an author and a speaker, and she has healed over 30,000 people and trained over 3,000 students like me. She has this book where she wrote up all the techniques and tools that for almost every single sign and symptom and disease that ever existed. She has tools, energy medicine tools, just like the ones we did, all listed in that book. And on YouTube, she has also videos for all of them. So very easy to follow, just like you saw me standing here. There are a lot of Eden Energy Medicine videos that you can find on YouTube. And in that handout, you have a link to the site that will give you more access if you're interested in any more information. Thank you very much.
We'll pause here for a little bit of tea. We're going to talk a little bit about chronic illness. What's it really like to live with chronic illness? The one thing all chronic illness has in common is it never goes away. It is your life's companion. No matter how intense it is or how gentle it is your life's companion. These are some of the chronic illnesses of clients that I have dealt with and help heal, bring healing to. Through stress management, I can help people sometimes for the very first time say, I am actually so stressed. In fact, it's a big secret of my family, but I've been stressed for years. Because many of us really don't like to admit that we carry this burden of stress. Okay? And these big secrets end up causing us pain, suffering, detachment from ourselves, and a host of other things. Post-COVID syndrome has forced a lot of my colleagues out of healthcare, which brings me deep grief and sadness. Our healthcare system has changed because of this pandemic. Because of the pandemic, we've also learned a lot about healing. We have people now coming forward to say, I need help. I'm a physician, I'm a nurse, I'm a respiratory therapist, I'm the social worker. I need help because the suffering has just been too much. So hooray for the pandemic to bring us all to our knees. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, we've heard a lot about that. Retirement. Right now in my practice, I have 5 clients who are anticipating retirement. And they are stressed about anticipating retirement. And they are asking themselves the same questions that they asked themselves when they were 25 years old. What brings my diseases? And that is because most of us our entire life get into a career path. We're moms, we're dads, we're grandmas, we're grandpas, we're whatever. And then someday we are faced with this, what seems to be empty spiritual space. And we say, gosh, who am I now? What do I do now? What purpose do I have now? And actually, how do I even take care of myself? This whole talk about self-care I find quite fascinating because when I was a little girl, my mom said, now you just go underneath that tree, honey, and you read a book. That was my self-care. Go read a good book or go play out in the mud puddle. Okay? Go connect with the earth is really what she was trying to teach me. Self-care today, it's amazing that we're not more healthier than we are sick, right? I'm quite amazed by that because there are lots of hosts of ways to help us heal and to be balanced. GI systems, overweight, obesity, nutritional issues are at the root of a lot of energetic imbalances in us, okay? So, I want to introduce you to what is in my medicine bag. This is my medicine cabinet, and it's my garden. One day in the garden, I thought to myself, this must be the body of Christ, right here. In the strawberry plants, in the cilantro, this food that we eat has to become medicine. So that means processed food is out the window, and hard work in a garden, and hard work of making different kinds of decisions about, Lisa, are you going to walk into your garden and pick your lettuce? Or are you going to go get bagged lettuce, which I do sometimes in the winter, and hope that it's not contaminated? And where did that come from anyway? Where did that lettuce come from? And I to be concerned about the water that it was raised in, the pesticides, and all the negative impacts, ought I be thinking about food differently? And of course, I began to realize I would rather walk into my healing kitchen and look at my spices that I've grown and the food that I've grown, to think of that as my medicine that's going to heal my energy system and bring me back to balance, than try and worry about what's in the meat or what's in the fish or what is in the canned good or maybe the frozen food. And do I have enough financial resources to buy organic food? Is that the answer? We've heard a lot of debate about that. We know that energetically, when we eat food which is not in balance with us, it doesn't taste good. And what do? We eat it anyway, right? So how many times have you sat down and had a beautiful, what looked like a beautiful salad, and when you got done eating it, you said, well, that actually didn't taste very good. That's your litmus test. How do you know
the food that you are eating helps restore your energy system. Well, the key is that we actually have to reflect on what we eat. It was like the day I walked into the garden and realized this is the body of Christ, right here. Just doesn't get any better than looking at your food as your own medicine. So, being aware of what resonates with me. Is it coffee? Is it basil tea? Is it water? Most people live in a chronic state of dehydration. That should be the number one chronic illness, is dehydration, because energy doesn't flow in us very well at all when we're dehydrated. Just like a garden doesn't grow in the state of dehydration. Well, we are the same. So beginning to think about how food is our medicine. What if we were to look at every time we sit down and eat and say, well, this is, what kind of spiritual relationship do I have to this food? With that reframe how we look at our own healing. We actually don't have to go very far to heal. We just need to walk into our kitchen. Isn't that beautiful? You know, one of the things that helps grow basil plants is banana water. Now, isn't that fun? So you take the banana peels, you put it in a little pail of water, you let it soak for a couple days, and then you water your basil with it. Isn't that beautiful? So why does that happen? Because what's in bananas? Potassium. Not much, by the way. But there is potassium. And that is what helps your basil grow. And basil is a holy food in many cultures. And it's used for medicinal healing. So I take my basil and I make homemade pesto and I make tea with it and do a lot of things. And every time I eat food, I'd be thinking, what's my spiritual connection here? So as a native indigenous woman, I thank God for the soil, for the water, and that we are privileged enough to have enough holy water to raise our plants, and that the sun is enough to help nurture and grow the plants, and that I have woken up to want to eat really healthy food that I grow because I know what is in my food source, including the use of water. And so then we bring that into the kitchen. It's old-fashioned to can, isn't it? A busy woman spending August canning because there's so many memories in that mason jar. Right? And isn't that good medicine? That's medicine. That's medicine. Everything we eat can help us to balance and heal our mind, body, spirit. So think about that when you go home and you walk into your kitchen and you stand there and say, what here is healing for me and what isn't? And instead of holding on to what isn't, just pass it on. Just let it go. Because that's a spiritual practice too of healing, is to let go of things that do not serve us. Reframing that food is our medicine, that we have a spiritual connection, that is our breath of life. The energy that was spoken about, that comes from the heavens and comes from the earth, that we're all connected to the basil plant. The moon, the stars, the water, the snow. The snow actually is also in there too. Hard work with hands and loving. All the creatures that live out in the gardens to help us to live a balanced life. So what if we reframed how we really looked at our food as medicine? Our medicine cabinets might get less. Because basil, for instance, helps decrease inflammation. It helps all kinds of gut issues. does all kinds of things. And there are many ways to learn what the health benefit is of food that we can simply use. Lemon water helps detoxify our energy system. Well, that's pretty simple. Limes do the same thing. Lemons can treat GERD. So to look at food as, how am I going to change my diet to know that the food I eat is going to help me be balanced? When I'm tired, there are certain foods I eat. When I am in deep grief, I eat all food that will help rebalance my heart chakra. And the color of the heart chakra is green. I will dress green. So if you see a green woman walking down the street, you can say, there's Dr. VanGetson, she's grieving today. Eat green, drink green. Smoothies are a beautiful way to eat fruits and vegetables that are very healthy for you. If I need to be grounded because I feel so scattered, I'm going to eat all kinds of root plants because that relates to the root chakra. And you don't have to have any knowledge at all about the chakras to know how food helps you. I love the name of your group, the Elderberries, right? For the last 3 years, I have taken elderberry every single day. Do you know what elderberries do? Decreases your inflammatory response and stress. Decreases the inflammation in the stress response. The minute we get stressed, everything goes awry, our energy systems become imbalanced, and an inflammatory response gets set off. Elderberries, elderberry tea, I like elderberry gummies because I don't eat a lot of sugar, and there's sugars in there, and I think I deserve just a little bit of sugar every day. So 2 elderberry gummies, and they're kind of fun. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. Well, welcome to my humanness, huh? So, what do you do to help yourself move through this complicated human life? And I think, for me, and I know Dalia would agree, to balance our energies, we do that with one emotion, and that's the emotion of love. Because love vibrates at the highest vibration. This is why Jesus walked around the earth talking and preaching about love. One of St. Teresa's favorite words is, love them anyway. Right? The answer is always love. Love the plants. Love the food. Pay attention to the food. Love what you're bringing into your own body for healing. The old song, I think the Beatles sang it, love is all we need. That's really quite true. But when we are so unaware of our own selves and unaware of how does this mind, body, spirit really work in this human capacity, we just become sick. And we need to learn how to re-love one another. So that's the gospel teaching for the day, is love. That will rebalance all of our energies. Have a great bowl of blueberries, strawberries, grapes, a great big wad of spinach, all those good foods, and know that that's your medicine going forward. So thank you, and this woman has a sense of humor, actually. So thank you. We'll take any questions.
Let's open it up for any questions that anybody has. We'll get microphones to you so everyone can hear. Of course it won't work. So, this one goes. Pull that one. Yeah.
4 cups of coffee a day is really good for you. Yes,
I have a bad case of neuropathy in my
yes,
feet,
yes,
and conventional medicine has not been able to solve that issue.
that's right, it doesn't.
Is energy medicine possibly have a solution?
Yes. We want you to talk about maybe.
Enjoy your lunch.
So there's absolutely a part of it where energy medicine can help. So we do not claim and say that it will heal everything, but what we promise you is that the energetic component of that neuropathy, that is energy medicine will take care of. And sometimes